up, Buttercups? It's me, Amy Young, and I'm coming at you with a Friday freestyle. Yes. Let's do it. You know how we roll. What's new and good? I didn't have anything planned for today. So, this will be like the most freestyle-y of freestyles. I think I need to just come out and talk about some stuff. If you've been watching me for a while, or if you haven't, hey, welcome, so happy to have you. You might not know that I have been living, I'm on the East Coast currently. I'm in Boston right now. I've lived primarily in Boston and New York. Not just primarily, like my whole life, those are the two places I've lived. And for the past year or so, I have been entertaining a move elsewhere. I want to go forth. I want to experience other places. I got to spend a lot of time this year on the West Coast with some wonderful friends and people that I know out there. And I've been feeling really pulled in that direction. Like it feels kind of like life is giving me a lot of great feedback saying like, hey, come over here. The west side of the country is pretty cool. So I'm honoring that because when life gives me feedback, I pay good attention. Up until very recently, however, I was stressing the fuck out about a potential move because it felt like a huge decision. It felt like a really big deal. And I have a rule for myself: when something feels like a huge decision, that's a sign to me that I'm not ready to make the decision yet. Like if I am in a place of indecision about something and it feels really, really big and it feels really unbearable and I'm like, oh my God, I can't choose. That's a sign to me I'm not ready to make a choice. Everyone's a little bit different. I've talked about this before in videos, and sometimes people get beefy and they're like, girls, you just have to choose. I'm telling you, and I'm like, okay, sure, you do you, buddy. I'm just here to share the experience that I have, which is that when something feels like a really big decision, you should, like, it's a good idea to just take a step away and be like, okay, not ready to make it. So that's where I was, and that's where I've been. And, you know, when I had the experience of speaking at Motu Summit in Vancouver, I suddenly realized, you know, like, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking about it as if, like, I have to make a big decision for the rest of my life. And whatever choice I make now for the move, I'd better make sure that I choose right, because if I choose wrong, then I'll be unhappy, and then, you know, what will people think or say, all those, you know, dumb things that go on in our brain. And I was getting really stressed about this big decision. And when I finally was able to recognize, like, oh, wait a second, like, what if this was a simple, smaller decision? Like, what would that look like if this decision felt a little less big, if it felt a little easier, if it felt a little clearer? What would that look like? Those are the types of questions that I ask to a lot of my clients when they're facing big challenges. Is it's like, well, what would it look like if it was easy, if it was simple? Like what would change, what would shift, what would happen? And I realized, oh, I don't have to make a decision for the rest of my life. I don't even have to make a decision for the next year. I'm in this really awesome position where I can decide, okay, maybe I just want to test something out for a little while. Maybe I just want to give it a little bit of a dry run, me and the West Coast. Maybe I just want to go visit a couple places and I want to stay there for a little while and work from there and just transfer my business over there, because I can do that, which I'm so thankful and grateful and like in awe of, that I have that flexibility and freedom. It's amazing. Let me do that. That would make this feel easier. That would make this feel like less of a huge decision. That would make it feel actually kind of like fun and cool. And I had this realization a few weeks ago, and then in the past few weeks, things have just lined up and fallen into place, and I have moved forward with those decisions feeling like it's the next logical step. Like, yep, this is what I'm gonna do. Let's just put some feelers out there. Let's see what happens. And apartments have rolled in, and friends out there are like, yeah, come hang, cool, can't wait to see you. And the timing of it is just smooth and easy and perfect. And yes, I still have like a twinge of nerves about this choice that I'm gonna go out to the West Coast for a few months this fall, and it's going to be a departure from the life that I've currently known. But more than anything else, it feels like the right thing because I didn't force it and I didn't push it and I didn't try to align myself with making a decision that didn't feel right at the time. And I think a lot of us do that where there's like a big decision that we need to make, and it gets to a point where we just want to like close our eyes and like throw a dart at a dartboard and be like, okay, perfect, that's just what I'll do. Or we poll everybody and ask everyone else what they think that we should do. And I'm telling you, if it feels like a huge decision, make it smaller for yourself in any way that you can. Remind yourself that like you can change your mind, that it's not forever, that you can test things out, that you can try it, that you can see what doesn't work or what will work. And also a big thing is just like sometimes it's just giving yourself some space, like stop staring at the decision and the problem and see what sort of naturally arises. That was one of the biggest things for me. Was I suddenly started telling people that I was moving out to the West Coast before I'd even really made the decision. That was just something that I was like, oh yeah, I guess I'm just gonna start telling people that. It was like almost an involuntary thing. It was bizarre. So this was, I guess, a little bit of a share about my future plans, which is that I will be spending some time on the West Coast. It's not going to change anything for you and me. This is going to stay samesies, except, you know, maybe there'll be like a palm tree in the background or something, because I'm going to be spending a month in California. I'll be spending a month in Vancouver, in Canada, with wonderful communities and tribes and loved ones that I have in both of those places. And I'm so fucking stoked about it. Like, it feels absolutely like the right thing. And that's what we want decisions to feel like. And if you find yourself making choices and making decisions and it feels like you are having to drag yourself, or like have anxiety attacks, or it's not possible to make a decision right now, it's okay to not decide. I will always be that person who's like, it's okay, then don't decide right now if it feels huge. Ease up on the stress, make it small, make it easy, make it simple. And when you do that, when you give yourself permission to go there and be like, okay, you know, what if this was easy? What if this was a small choice? What if this wasn't some huge insurmountable stressful thing? What if this wasn't a big decision? What would I do? What would it look like? How would it appear to me? Was that good? Was that okay? I don't know. I guess it's great. I felt good about it. I wanted to share that with you, and I wasn't sure when I would, so I'm glad that we're talking about it. And I hope that, yeah, you find that helpful. If you're facing a big decision yourself, number one, you're not alone. We all know what that feels like. It can be stressful. And yeah, go easy with yourself. Take your time. Take the pressure off. Always good advice. You got this. I love you. I think you're awesome. If you think I'm awesome, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. If you think I'm like the awesomest, first of all, impossible, because you are. Second of all, maybe you'd like to subscribe to my email list over at amyyoungcoaching.com. And I can connect with you that way. I'll visit your inbox on a more regular basis. Talk about stuff over there that I just don't have time to talk about over here. It's fabulous. Have a great day, night, weekend, wherever you are. And until next time, kisses. And I'll see ya. Not everybody thinks about those questions. You need to understand that. Some people do not value growth. They do not care. They do not want to be involved in that. That's fine. That's what works for them. But if that's not what works for you,